Hi guys, hope you're well. Glad to see some lovely catch reports coming out. It's been a long time coming, that's for sure. Make the most of it while we can, I suppose. I've been out once, managed to find a little ungulate, that was all right. But really, ideally, I'd like to have gone plaice fishing. Today I'm going to show you a couple of distance plaice rigs. Now, if I was using multiple hooks, I'd be looking at the pompey loop rig or a pulley loop rig. But sometimes you need them few extra yards, and the rigs I'll show you today are not new, but they're what I use when I'm looking for that little bit of extra distance. The first rig is a standard. It's basically a standard up and over, but many years ago I used to fish with a guy called Brian Hayes. Now Brian was a thinking man's angler, and after going out on the boats and doing really well using spoons to attract plaice whilst fishing, he decided to incorporate some spoons onto his rigs, and to great effect. I mean, the man was like a plaice charmer on Chesil, and yeah, I was fortunate enough to fish with him often enough that he allowed me to have a little look at his rigs and then never look back afterwards. And it's resulted in plaice up to £5 for me from the shore, which is pretty good, to be quite honest. But yeah, I'll have a go through the rig, and you guys can make of it what you will. Got size 4 swivel on the top, down and out link, little colmic sleeve. It's a relatively short body, I'd say about 2.5 foot. Then power gum knot, SRT setup for an up and over. Below that, got a splashdown off a size 8 swivel, a little bit of rig tubing running down the rig, and that's the business end. And this is why Brian done so well. You can either use beads either side of a net spoon. This here is a size 1 Dexter Met, and honestly, this does kill fish. I've got some flexi beads above it. I like them, they're nice and durable, very tough. I do like using my gums where possible. A little bit of neoprene rig tubing, size 1 Kamazuri paired with another size 1 Kamazuri. Now you might think that this encumbers your distance a bit. Yeah, it might knock a couple of yards off, but that added attraction certainly makes a difference to the catch rate, and it's one that I'd definitely try if I were you. Right, on to rig number 2. Now, for anyone that actually knows me personally will know I love these. It's the Bagnall bar rig. This to me is the ultimate distance rig. Tom Bagnall, when he put this one together, he certainly knocked it out of the park. You can buy these bars from multiple retailers. Tom sells them, Crack and Tackle sells them. This one's from Michael West of Seaglow. It's an awesome bar. The original bars were formulated out of Gemini rig booms. Now the booms were great, but they had the limitations. One was the strength and the other was the size of the bait. It was dictated by the length of the bar. Obviously these guys made them bigger, stronger and longer, so they're ideal for multiple different applications. You can knock them up out of mono. I like the mono ones myself. I like these too, but the mono one I think is a little bit more versatile again. But so I'll quickly run through the old bar, and yeah, you can have a squiz at that and see what you make of it. At the top you've got a swivel, and on the bar below you've got a bead, swivel bead, SRT spring, another bead and a power gum knot. Power gum knot's essential again if you want to replace the hook after you've lost the hook to crab, or the line's a little bit damaged and you want to knock another end up for the snood. You can just adjust it all up, ping it on, away you go. Down at the bottom of the bar, got a pair of beads with a swivel caught between them. On the end of this bar we've got a Gemini splashdown, You can use breakaway imp, but I prefer the splashdowns myself personally. It's just preference. Off the swivel at the bottom of the bar, I've got a little Gemini link. These are ideal because where these are rigid, you can't get them around a rig winder, so you can just unclip that, pop it on a little rig winder, pop it in the box, makes storage easy. Off of that, a little bit of rig tubing to keep the snood away from the bottom of the bar, and can wrap up if you haven't got that on there. And this looks like it's about 3 foot long. Looks like 0.35 Berkeley trilene fluoro. Attached to that, I've got myself a dyno clip, and off of that, probably 7 inches of mono fluoro, should I say. A little in an over bait stop, series of green beads. Some people like orange, green, and all the rest of it. It's all personal preference. I like green. I'm not opposed to a bit of orange as well. Below that, got a little bit of neoprene rig tubing. I find this stuff grips really well. Slipped inside that is a little size 2 mustard hook. It's yeah, lovely little hook. Please don't ask me the pattern. I bought a couple of boxes a few years ago and they're so badly beaten up now I couldn't give you the pattern number, but it's lovely. It's green, it's all placey, it's ideal. It's probably caught me more than it's caught fish. Yeah, below that, size 1 Kamazuri. And yeah, you can knock these up out of mono. I think, like I say, the mono ones are a little bit more versatile. I used them for congers, rays, taupe, and obviously Plaice. So just show you the configuration of that, and these ones you can do at home. You got a swivel, below that pair of arrow beads, and again swivel between the swivel, arrow beads, SLT spring, bead, power gum stop knot. This is on 70 pound Varavas. I like my Varavas main rig body. And again, this looks like Berkeley trilene 0.35. I've not bothered with the little Gemini link on there. Running off. Oh, obviously below we've got a splashdown and a lovely lead. Yeah, running off along there again. Again, this is a similar sort of length. It's about 3 foot. Dyno clip, some flexi beads, and a lovely little gum. I'm not sure what that one is, but it's very pretty. Some neoprene rig tubing, and on this I've got a pair of size 1 in over Kamazuris. A little tip with the old flexi beads and gums, all gums. I found that when I'm preparing them and I'm pushing them over the old, pushing them over the hook and down, they get quite badly damaged by the barb on the hook. Now, what I started doing was I'd get a hook and I'd nick it off at the bend, tie that on, push the flexi beads or whatever gums you want to use down, and then I tie the hook that I'm going to use on. Obviously, you don't want to just a little stumpy thing on the end. And I find that the flexi beads grip, or gums grip, as opposed to slipping. They can slip quite easily, and then sometimes you'll need to put a power gum knot behind them to stop them from shifting. When they hit the water, they can slip up the line back up towards your cascade or whatever. But if I find if I do that, then it just keeps them all nice and tight. But yeah, that's the basic configuration of the mono bar rig. If you haven't got a few of these knocked up in the old tackle box already, I suggest you do so, because they are absolute fish killers, and I wouldn't recommend them unless I really felt that. So yeah, happy days. If you do want me to do actual sort of demonstrations on how to build the rigs online, I'm happy to do so, but obviously I'd require your feedback. I don't want to bore you guys to death. 5 or 10 minutes looking at my mugs enough to put anybody off their dinner. So, you know, if you do want me to do that, then just let us know. Until then, tight line, guys. Keep them catch reports coming in, and yeah, look after yourselves.